Hi friends, welcome back to, oh, why do I keep doing that weird thing with my hand? Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited for today's video. Today we're doing a bookshelf tour, and so I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of the bookshelf that you guys always see in my background, and then I also have a few in my living room that I'm going to show you guys. I'm not going to go over the ones that I have like in my bedroom and in my hallway, because that video will be hours long if we did that. So if you guys want a part 2 to this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and let me know, and I will be happy to film a part 2 for you guys. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the video, because this video is already going to be long enough as it is. So to the video. All right guys, so I have tried to figure out where to place you guys so you can see this. You guys will be moving around a lot, so just beware. But yes, so first, this is like the tall shelves that you guys see, and let me like angle it up so you guys can see the top first. Here, so I'm just gonna go through them, I guess, and I'm gonna let you guys know now, I have not read a lot of these. That is one of my bad traits. I buy a lot of books before I have actually read them. So I just realized I'm not in the camera frame. I buy a lot of books that a lot of my books I have that I've bought and I have not even read them, because Bookstagram, BookTok, BookTube, they all get me. They get me good, and I see one person that I really love their book reviews and they recommend it, and I'm just like sold. So I'm kind of embarrassed to say what I have not read, so I may do it, I may not, we will see. But yes, so first here I have The Darkest Temptation, The Maddest Obsession, and The Sweetest Oblivion. I have seen this series so much recently, and I don't know if there's a fourth book in this series coming out, but if it is, I probably will. It's called the Maid series though. And yes, I like just love how they all go together too. But they're by Danielle Laurie. So that's the first. I probably won't go through every single book because that's going to take a while. But then we have the Caraval trilogy. So it comes Legendary, Caraval, and Finale, which I'm pretty sure that's in the wrong order. But yes, and these are by Stephanie Garber. Cannot wait to read these. I think you read these before you read. There's like another 2 books, but I do not know the name of them offhand. But I think you're supposed to read this series. Oh, the ballad, Once Upon a Heart, something like that. I think those are the 2 you read after the Caraval trilogy, I think. And then here I have Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves, which I actually put in my 2023 TBR that I really want to read, books I really want to get to. And then here we have the, I guess it's the Gilded Cage series, the Plated Prisoner series. But it's the 4 books, so Gild, Glint, Gleam, and Glow. And there is a 5th book coming out, and I cannot wait to read them. And then I just have the Kiss Curse and the X-Hex. And then by Harper L. Woods, I have What Lies Beyond the Veil, as also What Hunts Inside the Shadows. And there is a 3rd book either coming out or it's already out, but yes, cannot wait to start this series. A lot of these I cannot wait to start, but I just don't know when I'm going to start them. And then of course I have Hunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. And if you guys know about these books, you already know we love Zade Meadows. This probably really confirmed my morally gray obsession. And so here we have, this is another 3-book series. Like I said, a lot of these are going to be series, but we have Heart of Fierce and Broken, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and then A Vow So Blood and Deadly. And these are by Bridget Kemner. I don't even know what made me buy these, to be honest with you guys. I don't even remember seeing a quote, but yes, I have them. And then here I have the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, which those are classics. So I just, one day I left the gym and I was like, let me go to Target, and I found them, and so that's what made me get them. And then we have A Game of Fate and A Game of Retribution by Scarlett St. Clair. I love her writing. I've actually have read a few books by her, which is what led me to buy these two. And I think there's another one coming out. She has a few books coming out this year to go with series that I already own. And then we have Jennifer L. Autry. We have Storm and Fury, Rage and Ruin, and then Grace and Glory. She's also the authors of the Blood and Ash series. So yes, she's a very popular author, so that's 9 times out of 10 how I ended up with her books here. And then we have Sinners Consumed, Sinners Condemned, and Sinners Anonymous by Soam Sketcher. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yes, these books, I love the covers of them. And then guys, whenever I just love doing this to books, I don't know why. But yes, I have seen I saw a lot of like videos and stuff about these books, which is another reason I got these. So and then under that we have LJ Andrews. So let's see, I don't know the name of this series offhand. I think it's just, well, it's A Court of Ice and Ash, but there's like multiple books. So you have Courts of Ice and Ash, you have Game of Hate and Lies, Curse of Shadows and Thorns, Dance of Kings and Thieves, Crown of Blood and Ruin, and then Night of Mask and Knives. So that is a 6-book series, but the books are actually not that, they're not that thick. So that's nice. They won't take too long to read once I finally read them. And then we have, let's go down. I may have to like put you guys on the floor soon because you guys may not be able to see soon. But here I have the Binding series by Chloe Walsh. The 4th book did come out, so that is on its way, and I cannot wait to get it. Because I don't know, I feel like once I have all 4 books, then I will start to be in my binding era, because I see so many people read them, but I need the 4th book. I need to know that I have it in my possession before I read it, because I've heard mixed reviews, but I think I'm really gonna be on the good review side of this, so I'm gonna need to continue with it. Here we have another Scarlett St. Clair series. So you have A Touch of Malice, A Touch of Ruin, and A Touch of Darkness. And then there is a 4th book to this series coming out this year. I have not read these either, so cannot tell you what they're about. But yeah, if you guys have read any of these, please let me know what you guys think of them, because like I said, I'm a sucker for seeing a good quote, so that's how I own a lot of these books. And then we have Shattered Vows, Corrupted Chaos, and Fractured Freedom by Shane Rose. I have read some books on her by my Kindle, so I really do like her writing. She actually just released another book. I can't remember the title of it, but I do plan to read that on my Kindle. And then by S.J. Silvis, we have, I think this series is called, what is this series called? It's St. Mary's Boarding School series, is what it is, but it's 4 books. And so you have Good Girls Never Lie, Bad Boys Never Fall, Dead Girls Never Talk, and Heartless Boys Never Kiss. So I can't remember what made me buy those, but they're so cute. I just love like the way a good series looks together too. Like I could definitely just like use this as decor. But next we have the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang, I think. But it's the Poppy War, the Burning God, and then the Dragon Republic, which I've heard mixed reviews about this. Some people say the first one, I think it's more political fantasy in a way, and not really, it's not like romance. So I think that's like, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews for it, but needless to say, I was like, oh well, I need to get it. And then here we just have the Cruel Prince trilogy by Holly Black. So you have the Cruel Prince, the Queen of Nothing, and the Wicked King. I hear a lot of people, this was like one of their first like fantasy books. I either heard this or ACOTAR. For me, ACOTAR was my first fantasy book, so I fall in the Sarah J Maas category, but needless to say, I think these will be really good once I get to them once again. So let's see, let's see how we're gonna do this. So here we have the Red Queen collection, and I saw these at Barnes and Noble, so that's what it was, a pretty cover thing. But it's the Broken Throne, Red Queen, King's Cage, Glass Sword, and War Storm are what's in that series. And then I have the Corrupt series by Penelope Douglas, which I love her books. I definitely wonder what goes through her head when she writes her books, but I really love her writing. So we have Corrupt, Hideaway, and then you have some novellas, so Conclave, and then Nightfall, Fire Night, and then Kill Switch. I actually have 2 Fire Nights. I don't know why, but I feel like I may be missing another one. I'm not sure, but yes. And then here, let's see, we have the A Queen of Ruin series, I guess is what the series will be called, but it's by K.F. Bernays. So A Queen of Ruin, and then you have A Kingdom of Ruin, and then you have A Throne of Ruin, and then A Ruin of Roses. And then here I have Rena Kent, if you guys already know. Oh, God of Wrath, I freaking love this book. But I also have God of Malice and God of Pain, and then there is another one coming out this year that I cannot wait to read. And then King of Battle and Blood and Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett Sinclair. If you guys have not read these books, I highly encourage you to read them. I was in the middle of the ACOTAR series when I first started reading these, because I just I don't want to devour the ACOTAR series too fast. But I fell in love with these books. It's like vampire, and it's a forced marriage, and it's really good. I really like it. I think I liked King of Battle and Blood more than I like Queen of Myth and Monsters. There is a 3rd book coming out, because each book does end on a cliffhanger, which is not fun, because then you're forced to wait. So, and then here we have by Sophie Lark, There Are No Saints and There Is No Devil, which is also in my 2023 TBR video. So cannot wait to read these. Also, they are not really organized by author. I've tried to do that, but I just gave up midway. So that's why you see some of the authors on the same shelves, and then other ones you will not see. So all right guys, so down here on the very bottom shelf, which I did not realize how hard it would be to get this shelf in frame, but I have the Vancouver Wolves Hockey Romance by Odette Stone, and there's 4 books. So you have The Penalty Box, you have Puck Me Secretly, Home Game, and then High Risk Rookie. I have not read these either, but hopefully I will get to. I would definitely love a good hockey romance, which is what made me get them. And then here I just have the Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed, and Kingdom of the Feared, which these 3 books are on my 2023 TBR list as well. And then we have the Priest series by Sierra Simone, so Priest, Saint, and Sinners. Guys, I have heard so much about these 3 books, especially Priest, so I am looking forward to reading those. And then I have the Neon Gods books by Katie Roberts, which there is another book releasing soon, so I am excited to start that series. I'm excited to start all these series. And then here I have the Plated Prisoner series, well, not the Plated Prisoners, the Prisoner Healer series, which I have the 3rd book in a hardcover, and I have all my hardcovers grouped together, so that's why you don't see that one here. And then I just have some classics, so I have the 50 Shades of Grey series, and then I have the Insurgent series or Divergent series. So yes, that is this very big shelf that you guys typically see behind me when I film videos. And I have 2 shelves on the side, so we're gonna go over those. So okay guys, I had to get behind the camera for this one because this one's like in the corner. But here I have Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Fiend, which you guys know I love this book. And then I have these Hollow Vows and these Twisted Buns. I don't know the author's name. Lexi Ryan, which I've heard so many good things about this fantasy series, which is what made me get them. And then I have Belladonna by Adeline Grace. And then The First to Die at the End. And then Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. And then Verity, the hardcover by Colleen Hoover, which, oh my gosh, guys, I freaking loved that book. That was the first book that I read back in October that got me back into reading. And yes, I freaking love that book. If you guys have read it, let me know. Are you team manuscript or team letter? I gotta say I'm team manuscript. That letter it does not do nothing for me. And then what you guys see in the corner is just like my ring light and like another tripod. But then here I have Mad Money by Jodi Picoult, I think that's how you say it. And then we have the Mexican Gothic. And then I don't know how you pronounce the name, but Ariadne. I don't know. I'm not gonna butcher it, and I don't want to make a fool of myself. But yes, that's a book of the month book. And then here we have The Philosopher's Flight by Tom Miller. These were actually gifted to me by a friend, so that is like, I don't have a lot of this like genre of books, but I am excited to read them. And then I have Gods of Jade and Shadow. And then we have When We Were Bright and Beautiful, which I read the back of this one and it sounds so good. I cannot wait to read it. And then we have All the Light We Cannot See, and then Where the Crawdads Sing in hardcover as well. So, and then on the top here, I just have security camera and a lamp. But I have my journaling Bible, and then I have my NIV Bible, and then I have the Bible handbook and a theology handbook from the Daily Grace Co., which I love these. They are like so like helpful if you really want to try to understand the Bible. So that is what's on top of that shelf. And then we're going to move to the other side so you guys can see that shelf. All right guys, so back in the frame. It's like so hard to move in that little corner over there, which is why I have to like get behind the camera, but let's keep going. So here on the top, I just have another lamp that matches that one over there. And then I have this little jar that says Moments to Remember, and I try to remember to put things in here, but just like exciting memories, I just like to jot down and put them in here. They come with like little stickies or little pieces of paper to go with it. And then I'm gonna zoom in. On the top of this shelf, I have 3 books from the Lancaster Prep series by Monica Murphy. So I have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, which I absolutely love that book. And then I haven't read these 2, but these 2 are part of the series, and it's Things I Wanted to Say, and then Promises We Meant to Keep. And then I have Lotus, which was in my March wrap-up video, and then as well as Before We Were Strangers, which these 2 usually are not up here. I just, when I finished filming the video, I just needed somewhere to put the books, so that is how they ended up there. And then here, so I have by Cassandra Clare, Chain of Thorns, Chain of Iron, and Chain of Gold, which this one is the final series. This is the last hour series. So I have those in the hardcover. The other ones I have in paperback, so that's why these get like a special display, because they're cute or whatnot. And then these are a duplicate, so I had a duplicate of these Hollow Vows and these Twisted Buns, so they're just there. I'm thinking about either giving them to a friend or donating them. I just gotta find friends that read. the fantasy, like I have a lot of friends that read romance, but not a lot of my friends read as much fantasy as I do. And then we have the Midnight Library, and then Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And then moving down to the last shelf on this one, I have I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which I actually listened to the audio version of that one. I like checked it out on Libby, which if you guys want though, and I advise you to check it out now because there's like weeks of waiting times. I think I waited like 12 weeks almost for it, but it was definitely worth it because it is narrated by her. And so I really loved it. I don't give memoirs ratings, but I really did enjoy the story, the way she told it. But I do not I hate what she had to go through, let's say that. And then here we have Meant to Be by Emily Griffin. And then we have Kiss Her Once for Me, which is like a Christmas book. We have Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng. And then we also have Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng as well. And then we have a classic. We have 5 Feet Apart. And then we have One Italian Summer. And then we have The House in the Pines. And then A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. And then The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, which, guys, this was like, I love this book. This was the perfect book to read on Valentine's Day. I literally like woke up so early, started reading, did my normal job, and then stayed up till like, I think I finished it like right at like 11:55 or something. So I like devoured this book on Valentine's Day. That was my goal. So it was really, really good. Kind of like a Groundhog Day situation. Okay guys, so here we have one of my book carts. I don't really say this one is a TBR cart because it's really not a TBR cart. It's just a cart that holds books because I didn't have enough shelves. So that's what's going on here, which also it feels really good to have my camera back like at the distance it normally is because I am not the tour girly. So trying to like do it in the weird angles, that was kind of hard. But this was kind of coordinated at first. It was like semi-color coordinated, and it still is, but not the best anymore. But I have Serenading Heartbreak, which I actually got this one because Sarah Caroli, I think she did a video and she talked about this book. I think she did like reading sad books or something. But yes, I heard about this book from her, which is how I ended up with it. And then we just have There's Something About Mary. So around Christmas time, I did make sure I got like a lot of Christmas books, which I did not get to read all of them, but yes, this is one of the ones I got. And then here we have You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle, which I've heard a lot about this one too, which is what led me to get it. And then this was the first book I actually read by Tessa Bailey. It's called My Killer Vacation, and it was such a cute and quick read. I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially it being my first Tessa Bailey book, because I know there are a lot of other books out there by her that are like way higher rated than this one. But to say that I really like this one, and it's not even like one of her most popular ones, it made me really excited to read like her other books. So that is definitely something I look forward to. And then have another Christmas book, Always in December. And there's a few Christmas books right here. We have All I Want for Christmas, Just Like Magic, and then The Holiday Swap. And then here I have another duplicate set, which is not uncommon because sometimes I go in the bookstore and I just completely forget what books I own. And I went into Barnes & Noble and don't know how I ended up with 2 of these, but it's called Authentically Izzy. And then I have 10 Blind Dates. And then we have Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I love this cover. I have the original cover of the guy, and when I saw this cover I was like, this cover is so much better, so much better. So had to get that cover. And then I have Dating Dr. Deal, which this book was really good as well. It's kind of like fake dating. It is, yeah, you can say it's definitely fake dating, but there is some fake dating that goes in here, just to help each other like build their reputations back up. And it is very spicy. I did not go into this book thinking it was going to be as spicy as it was, but yeah. And then we have All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I think that's how you say her last name. And then we have All the Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. On this shelf here, we have Meant to Be. And then these are just like string lights that like I never turn on anymore, but they're like here in the way. Also, I got these stickers from an Etsy shop, which if I can find the shop, I'll link it in the description box for you guys. But yes, I have Meant to Be, and then A Summer to Remember, Kiss Her Once for Me, The Way I Used to Be. We have the Deal by Megan Brandy. I mean, The Deal Dilemma by Megan Brandy. And then we have A Not So Merry Memories, and then You've Reached Sam. I have only the first book in the Bridgerton series. I have not read or watched the Bridgerton series yet, so I saw the book and I was like, oh well, maybe I'll read the book first, but I haven't touched it yet. And then we have Meet Me Under the Mistletoe, and then The Woman in the Window, Love Letters to the Dead, The Nightingale by Christine Hanna, as well as The Firefly Lane, and then Suicide Notes from My Beautiful Girls. That's what it's called. Suicide Notes from My Beautiful Girl. Sorry, I cannot get that right. And then we have House of Hollow, which the cover of this one is really pretty. As you guys see, I have to like take them off very weird, but yes, I actually just picked this one up, so very excited to read that one. Here we have The Paper Palace, and then Girls Like Us. We have The Unexpected Paradise, and then Local Woman Missing, Suicide Notes, The Devil You Know, The Perfect Marriage, which that one was really good. It was a really good twist in it. And then we have In 5 Years, and then Every Last Word, One Day in December, The Final Hunt. We have The Night Road by Christina Hanna, Conversations with Friends by Saloon Rooney, and then You'll Be Home Now, and Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. And so I'm going to turn it around and then we'll go over the books on the other side. On this, so this is the other side, same card, just the other side. So here I have The Contract, and then I have Unveiled, Corrupted by You, Tempted with You, which these two books go together by Marzi Opal. We have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, which this was what I'm very excited by Mariana Zapata. I have Devious Lies by Parker S. Huntington, which you guys know I love her writing. And then Black Ties, White Lies by Kat Singleton. I actually read this on my Kindle and loved it so much I had to get the paperback. And then here I have some books like Turn the Front Way, but I have Asher Black by Parker S. Huntington. We have the Mindfuck series. We have Den of Vipers, and then Gothinka. So all of these are books that I really look forward to reading. On this shelf here, we have The Maidens and the Silent Patient. I have not read The Maidens, but I have read The Silent Patient, which I absolutely love. That's actually, I think, the only book, like fiction book I've read by a man, and I like really enjoyed it. And oh my gosh, I have like researched to see if he was going to write a second one, which as of right now he does not have any plans to, but I really hope he does because I really want to know what happens. And then we have The Wicked Aftermath. We have They Both Die at the End, or is this one? Yeah, because the other one's in the hardcover. And then I have I Fell in Love with Hope. And then these two are actually on like one of the tables at Barnes and Noble, which is what made me pick them up. It was like Best of Fantasy or something like that. And so it's Ash Princess and what's this one? Vespertine. So I think both of these are part of a series, but they're like the first book in their respected series. So that is that one. And then here I have Outfox. This was also gifted by a friend. And then I have The Circle by Madeline Miller, which she is also the author of, if I can remember the name, Achilles, I think. Song of Achilles. I think that's she's the author of that one. And then we have the Virgin River. I have the first book in that series, which I love the Netflix show, which is what made me want to buy the book in Target when I saw it. So we'll see if they're like any of the same. Sorry guys if that made you guys cringe looking at how I just shoved that book in there. Then I have The Swap, and this is where it ends. I have The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and then If He Had Been With Me. Guys, oh my gosh, let me take this book out. I'm like trying to be careful with this one because this one is like one of my favorites. But this book here, oh my gosh. If you guys want to cry, if you guys want to sob your heart out, read this book. This book, I have never realized how much pain a book can cause in 10 pages. Like, during the whole book, I was like, oh, this is a cute YA book. Like, and it sucks so bad because like they tell you what happened in the beginning, they tell you what happened on the back. I mean, even the title tells you it's probably a devastating story. And it's like you read the entire book, or you read like 95% of the book, and it's like, oh, you know, okay. And then out of nowhere, you just get, your heart just gets stabbed. And yes. and there is another book coming out in October from the guy's point of view, and oh my gosh, I am not ready. When you guys don't see me for a month, no, it's because I read that book. The last shelf we have Yes and I Love You. I actually, one of my Bookstagram friends reviewed that book, and that's what made me really want to get that one. And we have Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. We have The Alchemist by Paulo Chilcho, I think that's how you say his name, not sure. And then I have The Stranger in 8B, which I just saw like some really good things about this one. It's a very short book, but yes. And then I have Hall in My Heart, which I had the author send me this book, and I cannot wait to read that one. And it's by Jennifer J. Coldwater, that's how you say it, yeah. And then we have Alex Approximately, and then I have Clean. We have The Lake and the Fear by Natasha Preston, that's sorry. And then we have My Year of Rest and Relaxation, The Light We Lost, Our Secrets, and I think that's, let's say, yeah, Our Secrets and Scars, which is like a pen pal romance. And then this one is Second First Impressions. We have The Cheat Sheet. We have The Great Alone by Christine Hanna, She's Gone, and then Little Secrets. So I just gave you a tour of basically what you guys typically see behind me. I do have 2 shelves I'm going to show you guys that's in like my living room. So let's get into those. Alright guys, so here I just have this shelf, which is a lot of like my Christian and self-help books. Self-help. So I have The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. I have Women Evolved by Sarah Jakes Robert. We have Atomic Habits. We have Winning the War in Your Mind. Who Are You by Sadie Robertson. Find Your People by Jenny Allen. The Blessed Life by Robert Morris. And then Praying Through the Names of God by, I think this one is Tony Evans. My mom actually recommended that one to me, so I'm really excited to read that one. Here I just have a few more of my like Christian and self-help books. So I have a daily devotional, and then I have 31 Prayers for My Future Husband, which my previous manager got me that one, and I freaking loved it. Like, it was such a good book, and it's not even like a book, it's just prayers, and I can definitely see myself reopening that book. And then I have a journal here, and so it's just all things new, and it's a praying scripture journal. And then by Gabrielle Union, I have Got Anything Stronger. And then I have Psalms 19, God's Key to Unlock Scripture. Who Are You Following? Change Your Questions, Change Your Life, which was a book, a part of a program in my job I read. And then Becoming by Michelle Obama. This is like the journal that goes with it. And then I think I have the book somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I don't know if we already went through it, but and then I just have a few books by Michael Todd. So Crazy Faith and Relationship Goes. And then I have one of the Bibles in the King James Version. So that's that one. And then we have the second shelf in here, which, let's go to that one. Okay, so this is like my fantasy shelf. Like this one, like I have organized by genre, so every book on here is fantasy. But on the top, this is actually in front of my fireplace because I never use my fireplace. If you ask me to burn wood, pretty sure I will burn my apartment down, which is why I didn't even attempt. And I was like, I will just put a bookshelf here because I needed the space. So I just have one of my favorite candles by Threshold, which is Target, and it's the vanilla and bergamot. And then I just have my ESV Bible, as well as the Book of Psalms and Book of Proverbs from Alabaster. They're like decor books, really cute. And then I have another, this one I use a lot in like my book photos, but it smells really good too. This is like probably the fourth one I've gone through. And then I just have some annotation supplies. So I have my pens, highlighters, and some bookmarks there. And this, you guys see like my little fairy lights. That's what's there. And then on the first like shelf, or like 3 cubes, I have the Throne of Glass series. These are the original covers. I think these are the original covers because I have the white ones and I really do want the new ones that came out. I'm trying to convince myself not to buy them, but pretty sure I will end up getting them. But yes, I have that entire series here in these covers. And then in this middle one, I have the Mistborn trilogy. So I got them like in the little small books, which these are the only books I have that are this size. But I ordered them off Amazon, didn't know they were going to come in this size, but they're so freaking cute. So I was like, why not keep them? And then here I just have some more Jennifer L. Armentrout. I think I pronounced her name the last time I said it, but yes. And so I have the Blood and Ash series. So from Blood and Ash, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, The Crown of Gilded Bones, and then The War of Two Queens. And then I also have the Flesh and Fire series, which is a light in the flame, and then Shadow in the Ember. So, and there's also books coming out for both of those series this year, I think. So those are definitely on my wish list once they release. And then we have Anastasia by Sophie Lark, which I've heard a lot about this. I think like this is based off of something, but I probably just end up going into it not knowing what it's based off, to be honest with you guys. So that's how that one is going. But the cover is really cute. I really do like the cover. So yeah, the hardcover of Crescent City, the paperback of House of Earth and Blood, and then I just have the original covers of the Akitar series. So that's the first like set of shelves. And then let's go into the second set. On the second shelf, in this corner, I just have my Twilight series, which, guys, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I have not read or watched anything Twilight. I don't know, it was just nothing I ever showed interest in as a kid. So like my parents never introduced me to it. So that's why, you know, but I've like found an interest in them. So, and then I also have Twin Crowns, which the second book is coming out I think the month of April. So that is on my list. And then I have these two, which is The Shadow Between Us and A Deadly Education. Both of these are actually sent to me and I cannot freaking wait. I like always, like when someone sends me something, I try to always keep the notes in here because they're just the cutest. Like I freaking love like getting notes from people who send me stuff. So, and then I have the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then the Serpent and Dove trilogy, and then we have House of Beating Wings as well as House of Pounding Hearts. So these are all fantasy as well. And then here I have the Serpent and the Wings of Night. Guys, if you guys like ACOTAR, you're gonna like this one. This one is so good, and it's like, oh gosh, I loved it so much. I don't want to ruin it, but it is, like I said, this whole shelf is fantasy, but they're in a tournament, like a match to basically get like these powers, and it's so many of them, and it is they are vampires. I want to say it's vampires, but yes, very good book by Carissa Brabant. I am actually reading another one of her books right now, but after reading that one, I really love her writing. And then here, same situation with Twilight. Never showed interest as a kid, so never watched it or read the books, but one of my mentors, she was the one who told me about this series, and I was like, okay. Well, she didn't tell me about it, but she was like, you know, if you never read it, you gotta read it. So I am excited to finally read Harry Potter, and I am gonna make sure I vlog that series because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in the world that has not read Harry Potter. So we have made it to the last shelf many minutes later. So we have To Kill a Kingdom, and then also the Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which she's the author of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So super excited to read those. And then I have the Ember and Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. So it's Ember and Ashes, Touch Against the Night, A Sky Beyond the Storm, and then A Reaper at the Gates. So cannot wait to finally read this series. Honestly, I don't know when I'm going to get to half of these books, because if you guys can tell, I have not read a lot of these books, so it's going to take some time to get to them. And then I just have the Merciless series by W. Winters. So the first book in that series, which this is a really thick book, guys, but it's All He'll Ever Be. And then I have Irresistible Attraction. There are 3 more books in that series, which I cannot wait to read. And then we have Phantom by Greer Rivers, which Rogue is actually coming out soon. And then I have the Atlas 6, which this was on my March wrap up, which I really love that book, which is what made me excited to try Deadly Education, because I really did like the academia setting. So the next section, here we have the Zodiac Academy series. And there was just so much hype around those books, which is what made me like finally cave and get them. Sorry, I was like trying to put all these books back so I don't have to do a big cleanup after. But yes, we have the Zodiac Academy. So I have books 2 through 8 right here. This is probably one of the longest series that I have, besides the Sarah J. Maas Throne of Glass series, as well as the Shadowhunter series by Cassandra. Can't remember the last name, but yes. So that's those. And then I also have the first one in this little cube here, which I don't know if you guys can see that. We can zoom. There's like a little fan on the side. That's what you guys are seeing. But here I just have the first book in the Zodiac Academy series. And then I have by Holly Renee, which, oh gosh, how did I forget I was zoomed in that fast? But I have A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal, and then A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows, which she also just released A Kingdom of Venom and Vows, I think is what it's called. So can't wait for that one to get here. And then, like I said, just have the first book in the Zodiac Academy series because it wouldn't fit in that respective cube. I have the Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle L. Jensen. So that one is the Bridge Kingdom, the Traitor, and then the Inadequate Heir. And then lastly, I have the Shadows and Crown series by S.M. Gaither, which is 4 books in that series so far. We have The Song of the Mark, A Twist of the Blade, The Call of the Vow, and then The Crown of Gods. So alright guys, so that wraps up today's video. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you guys have read any of these books and what you guys rated them or what you thought of them. And then give this video a thumbs up if you guys want a part 2. There's like 3 more shows that I think I have to go through if you guys want that part of the video. So yes, those are like a lot of like my romance books today. Like we did a lot of fantasy. So the other shows won't cover like more of my romance genres. But yeah, without further ado, I will let you guys go. Once again, thank you for watching, and I love you guys. Bye.